Yo, what is up, guys? So I have an interesting story for y'all today, and it regards the artist Lucki. And I feel like this could be something a lot of artists or people in music can learn from, because these types of like label or distribution service conflicts between the artists, I feel like they're way too common, and I think artists just need to read the fine print, because this is what the story is all about, really. And so it looks like Lucki is being sued by Empire, and I don't know if you guys know what Empire really is. They're kind of like an independent, quote unquote independent label, and they would do a lot of like distribution for artists, and it's not like a regular label where they manage everything in terms of, the artist's music, image, etc. But this is kind of like a soft label, we can say, where you can still be independent, but they'll really help with distribution and a lot of other services. And so I guess Lucki is being sued by Empire for allegedly breaching his contract after releasing a song through a rival distributor, United Masters. So that just by that alone, that's an obvious no-go, because you're going to a company's rival, and this isn't just for music, it's for any other industry. But anyways, Empire is claiming that it paid Lucki nearly $10 million since 2019 and still holds the exclusive rights to his recordings, okay? And if you're trying to wonder what song, caused this whole conflict, well, this conflict escalated when Lucki dropped Not So Virgo of You on October 1st, which Empire says violated their agreement. And so Empire is accusing Lucki's lawyer of deceptively hiding a termination notice in legal paperwork to make Empire miss a contract renewal window. So in other words, here's what allegedly happened. So I guess Lucki's contract with Empire was about to renew automatically, like a subscription. And unless one side officially ended it before a certain date, it was just gonna renew, right? But to end this deal, Lucki or his lawyer had to send a termination notice, which is pretty much a letter saying, we're ending this contract. Empire claims the lawyer hid that notice inside other legal documents, so it didn't look obvious. And so because of that, Empire supposedly didn't realize the contract was being ended and missed the deadline to respond or renew. And so now, Empire is accusing the lawyer of deceiving them on purpose. So pretty much sneaking the termination into the paperwork to make sure the contract expired and Lucki could leave the label. And so Kirko is reporting on Twitter that Empire is seeking injunctive relief to block further releases and a declaration that the 2024 agreement remains valid. And so by injunctive relief, they mean that they want a judge to temporarily stop Lucki from releasing new music. And this is especially from another label or an independent distributor until this legal dispute is settled. They also want the court to officially declare that their 2024 contract with Lucki is still valid, meaning that he's still under contract with them. And this kind of conflicts that the news of DRB Drugs Are Bad, that it would be an independent album. However, according to Kirko, Lucki's lawyer called the Empire deal unfair, pointing to a 50% split of profits. He says far exceeded industry norms, as well as a clause that allows Empire to recoup marketing expenses from Lucki's share of the profits. And so it looks like Lucki has been getting finessed by this label, because it seems like Empire has been taking over 50% or around 50% of his profits, right? But on top of that, let's say they spend $1 million on marketing. They would take that $1 million off of Lucki's salary. And that's pretty much the money that Lucki has earned. And so this is already getting him in two ways, already from the, above the excessive 50% of profits, which is not even normal in the industry. But on top of that, this sort of marketing cost that Empire can use to take more and more money away from Lucki. And so Lucki's lawyer is saying that this contract, it heavily favors Empire, and it's not really fair. And so I think that this is a lesson that a lot of people in music, whether you're an artist, a producer, even someone working on the visual aspects of like music videos, like cameramen, VFX, visual artists, etc., I feel like we can all learn from, because this types of like, a label manipulating contracts or using, subtle details in the fine print to really extract as much money as possible, because at the end of the day, this is all a business, and they don't want to give you, all this money, $10 million, $100 million, whatever. And they're going to try and use whatever tactic they can in order to recoup that money back. And I know Lucki is a very profitable artist, and honestly, if he went fully independent, I feel like he would make a lot more money. But this is just a sad situation to see. And, as someone that's a fan of Lucki's music, I hope, things go in his way, but I feel like we can all use this as a learning experience. And anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. This is my first video in a minute, but, I'm back. And anyways, have a good day. See you on the next one. Peace.